So hey everybody, welcome to HomeMade. Today I'm going to replace my daughter's volleyball net, like the poles. They're a little bit short and they're very flimsy, so I thought I take some wood which I have left over from some other project, and I just want to take that. I want to go to the official height of 7 feet 4 and 1/8 inch. It's basically the net height of women's volleyball. So the net is in pretty good shape, but I'm going to replace the pole, and I have a little project which I want to show you today. So I'm going to use a miter box and a little handsaw. It's just 2 cuts, so I'm not getting out my power tools. And the new posts I'm using are like 2 inch by 1 inch, like that are the wood remainders, the leftovers of an older project. So I'm just repurposing them. I already measure them for length, make 2 cuts, and then show you the next step. So that's basically how the net sits on the pole. As you can see, it has 2 tensioners here, and then it has basically a piece of cord, basically, which is under tension and really kind of holds the net. So what I need to do in my wooden board, I need to put a notch in on the top to have some kind of channel where I can put the cord in, that it doesn't flip off of my pole, of my new poles here, which are now, as you can see, 7 feet 4 inches and 1/8 long. I already prepared 1 notch, tried out, so I'm again using my handsaw. Gotta be very careful not to cut into my hands, so just wanna put like a notch in, perhaps 1/8 of an inch deep, but much more. Once you get it going, it's easier. It's just, say, the first cut. So I hope you can see it. You see that? Notch is in. So in order to attach the net to the poles, I have these hooks. Yeah, and also previous project, so I didn't have to buy them. So now I just need to determine the whole diameter. So what I usually do is just use basically the core thickness of that. I don't want to make it too small, the hole, otherwise I split the wood, but I also don't want to make it too wide, otherwise I don't have enough strength, enough grip, enough material left that the threads can find a nice grip. But I think that might work. It's a 1/8 of an inch diameter. It's in 1/8 of an inch diameter. I hope you guys can see that. That's what I'm going to use. So I'm pre-drilling. I'm drilling 4 holes. Okay. So I marked the wood already, so you guys can see. And now I'm drilling the holes. holes are drilled, and now we just assemble the hooks real quick. Okay, number one. Number two. Number three. This is my number four hook. I got it up here. Four. Okay, so that's how the post will look like, and that will be in between the hooks. So on the bottom I'm going to put like a spike in, just to be able to really stick it nice to the ground, to really basically have it like 4 or 5 inches in the ground. So what I'm using, I have a piece of thread left. I just cut 2 pieces off, epoxy that in. I have perhaps like say 2, 3, 4 inches out there. You see that? 3 inches perhaps, like that. Then I can nicely stake it in the ground, and the rest will basically be tied down with the cords, basically with the ropes. So next step is to pre-drill my posts, and I have like a smaller, doesn't matter what, like just a smaller than the original bit, which is pretty substantial. It's a 5/16, so I use a way smaller one to pre-drill, and then I use the bigger one for the final hole. I might go just about, I say 3 to 4 inches in, and then epoxy in the thread bar. And that's my spike where I can put it in the grass. So I do it freehand. Should be okay for the purpose. Okay, number one. Make sure I got the right one. And number two. So now the final hole diameter with the 5/16. Okay, so that's my thread. So I will just put it in like that and cut it down to a length like here, and then that's my spike, which sits in the ground and prevents it from moving. So cutting that to length with an angle grinder to find my mark. That's here. Let's cut it. Okay, so the last step is I want to epoxy in. I want to epoxy the epoxy glue threads. Just mix up really quick, equal amounts. It's like fast setting, 5 minutes epoxy, so don't want to wait too long. So mix it up really quick. So here, I'm applying the glue very generously. So let's put some in there. Man, it's really thin. So okay, here the finished product, my volleyball post. You can see how that looks, the notch, and then it's also down there, pretty sturdy with the spikes in there. I think it's pretty good for like a cheap net. It's repurposed, so good enough at least for her training at home.